Hey guys, it's Yuri with New Mexico Home Deals. And the hottest topic right now in the housing market is interest rates, because 2 weeks ago the Fed increased interest rates by, in some cases, by a whole point. So what does that really mean? Well, it means your buying power is significantly lower. We're going to go through a lot of different things as far as education in this video. However, the number one thing is interest rates are always fluctuating. Just this last Friday, we had a fixed 30-year mortgage loan, and it was locking in at about 7.125%. Now that's assuming you had a 740 credit score with really low DTI, which means debt to income. But in essence, what I want you to know is everything's fluctuating. These rates are always changing. So today, those interest rates have actually dropped. So it's actually come down since the weekend. So we're looking more at like 6.7, 6.9 in some cases. And it just depends. So it's already down 0.3 of a point. So assuming you have a 740 credit score, which is pretty darn good, and your debt to income is very low, meaning your income is more than your debt, and that ratio is not out of control. Some of us are making this and our debts are this, and that's bad, right? Some of us, most of us in America are this, right? But what you want is your income to be higher than your debt. How do we bring down these interest rates in today's situation? The rates are going up. We know the housing prices, the market values are not coming down. They might fluctuate a little bit, but they're not coming down. So we have to contend. So what do? Well, right now we're talking about buying points down. So at the end of your purchase, at the end of the transaction, you have what's called cash to close. And it's made out of three things. Number one is your down payment. Now this payment has to be paid for by the buyer. Sellers cannot contribute to that. So this is a percentage of the home's value that you pay in cash minus the loan, because the loan's not going to give you 100% in most cases, especially not in a conventional loan. So many times what we see is an owner-occupied second-time buyer putting down 5% down payment. Okay, so you would pay 5% of the home's worth in your down payment. The loan will cover 95%. So second is your prepaid costs. And those are home warranties, home insurance, all things that you pay for before. And sometimes it's the prepaid interest. So if you were to buy a home right now and close in the beginning of November, you pay an interest on your payment for all of November. Your first payment is technically for all of December. And because it's all based on credit and repayment, your first actual payment, your monthly installment, would be technically January 1st. So that's how that works. That's part of prepaids. Number three is your closing costs. And those are lender fees, those are title fees, those are any third-party fees that are associated with the closing of your property. Way points are brought down is the more money we can contribute to those prepaids and closing costs brings your points down, increasing your interest rate. So let's use an example. Now again, this is not everyone's situation. This is a very hypothetical example with very clean, easy numbers. And we're going to assume that you have a 740 credit score, your debt to income is very low, your house is worth $400,000, you've agreed to purchase that house for $400,000. You're a second-time buyer, meaning it's your second time going for a home. You're going to bring 5% of the home's value to close as a down payment. What's 5% out of $400,000? It's $20,000. So now, in a perfect world, if the seller agrees to give you concessions or contribute to your closing costs and your prepaids, the seller in this situation can contribute up to 3% of the total cost. What's that? $12,000, okay? So now in this example, you brought $20,000 cash to your down payment. $12,000 can be, if the sellers say yes, and this is the max amount they can say yes to, bring $12,000 to your closing costs and prepaids. So that means you have $32,000 being brought to your cash to close. So let's up the ante a little bit. Let's bring the math up higher. Let's double the numbers. So now we're going to do an owner-occupied conventional loan, bringing 10% down. What does that mean? So $400,000, 10% is $40,000 now. Sellers can contribute a maximum of 6% of the final price. So now you brought in $40,000. Sellers can now do 6%. Do the math. It's $24,000. $40,000 down payment, $24,000 in closing costs and prepaid concessions. Now you're looking at $64,000 brought to your cash to close. So your points are brought down, your interest rate is brought down, your monthly payment stays lower. I know it's a lot, but we just got to trust the math. Take a lender who's maybe recommended to you or someone that has great recommendations and interview them. Are they the best fit for you? Do they have your concerns in mind? Are they the right person to help you? And are they putting your needs first? These lenders are going to work with realtors like myself to do all the negotiation for you and represent you the best of our ability. If a seller is able to and willing to contribute, we're going to negotiate that in to get you the best monthly payment. Do not be afraid of interest rates. They vary all the time. We want to get you in the home now because homes appreciate in value over time. It's been proven throughout history. Home prices get more and more expensive because the market's driving up. So let's treat this investment as an asset. You're going to make money off of it in the long term. Let's get you this house in the current market price before it goes any higher. Interest rates will change, and the moment that happens, we can apply for a refinance and get you a new mortgage with the fresh lower interest rate. So your monthly payment is not going to be locked in, always going to be certain and finite. We just need to get you in this asset and start building wealth the right way. The longer you rent, the more you're paying off 100% of someone else's mortgage. The sooner you buy, you pay off a percentage of what you own, and you build equity, build your own wealth, and you contribute to your kids' futures. I know it's a lot of information, but I think it's really good, and it just helps us have a better feel for what's in the back of the house and how much actually goes into getting you the best monthly payments. As always, if you need anything, I'm here with New Mexico Home Deals. I'm always here. Feel free to comment down below, send any DMs or instant messages that you like. I will try my best to get back to you soon. And you can always give me a call, 505-615-8619.